We're back, and with the preseason done, we're ready to head into opening round and the start of the season proper.
Come on!
Hello and welcome back to Off the Mark, an AFL Fantasy podcast. I'm Mason.
And I'm Casey, and man, oh man, footy's just around the corner. Tomorrow night, it all starts. How exciting.
I know.
Exciting.
Very exciting. The
Doesn't
Blues are
start.
taking on the Swans. Hopefully we get a little win there. I don't think we will, honestly. I have a
never
bad
know.
feeling we're going to get absolutely spanked. But look, good preseason form. Beat the two premiership team, two grand finalists from last year. So
Can't complain
haven't
about
been
that.
bad. Yeah, should be good. Unfortunately, your boys aren't playing
That's
opening
all right.
round, are they? So
Just gives me enough time to sit back, enjoy opening round without the fear of losing. I can just enjoy footy for what it is and get a little sneak peek at our fantasy players because obviously opening round doesn't count for the fantasy points. So this is the cheat code of all cheat codes, the whatever you want to call it. This is the round to get all the information we want, and there's some big questions to be posed.
absolutely, and we'll be going through them all. We're going to do. I reckon we'll probably do a quick recap of all the Amy Community Series games, and then maybe just a quick, I guess, preview of some of the opening round games. You know, what do players have to score for us to pick them? Because yeah, like you said, a lot of what ifs. I think for a lot of these players, so it will be a conversation over the week, and into next week as well as we review opening round. And yeah, a lot of questions over who we can pick and who we can't. And unfortunately, at this point, a lot of buy players are probably going to come into our sides because we're going to actually see them in action and they're going to look good. So the less buy we can be thinking now, the better we're probably going to be. So let's go through. Should we go through the first Amy series game? And it was my Blues downing the Geelong Cats.
Oh yeah, in style.
This was good. And we saw the top scorer of Jagger Smith over for the Blues, 118. 18 kicks, 19 handballs, 4 marks, 2 tackles, and a goal. Pretty good stat line. I mean,
Yeah,
not only is he a lock, he's going to be a star.
exactly, and that's exactly what we want. We just want those rookies who start in our team and just build cash, stay there for the entire time. If he keeps scoring like this, there's no point we don't take him out of our team at all. Stays the whole season.
No. I mean, he's not going to be a top 8 mid. Oh, you wouldn't think he's going to be a top 8 mid, but he could average 80 or 90. Like, if he's fit and plays the whole year like he is, he could easily do that. I mean, obviously, being a rookie, he'll probably have a couple of 60s in there or something. But, look, he looks great. Ran well, obviously, over whatever injuries he had last year with the ACL, obviously. It looks like he's had a great preseason. He gets a lot of outside ball. He knows where to find the ball, but he's a good user as well, so I think they want it in his hands. It ticks every single box I can think of as a pick, and we're all picking him anyways, so it's kind of a shame that he doesn't get to be at least a little bit unique, but
Yeah.
oh well. Some other names there for the Blues. So we saw Cripps go big with a 117. We're not looking at him for classic. Cooper Lord as well had 13 tackles. Just wanted to note that. And he is playing tomorrow night. So if he is in there, best 23 all year, and he's laying that many tackles and scoring 114. Who knows? I mean, Chera's out till like round 6, so he could be like a sneaky little... I would only pick him up after his bye, but it's a watch for sure over opening round, the first couple rounds. There's not too many names. Walsh is probably the other big one, so he had 99 points on 68% time on ground, by the way, which is very good. 9 kicks, 20 handballs, 2 marks, 5 tackles and a goal. So he was great. Yeah, he looks like he'd really gotten past his injury woes. He did have a little bit of a concern at the start of the game. Went down with what looked like a rib or a back, which scared the shit out of me as a Carlton supporter. But he's all good. He's playing tomorrow night, so he is fine. Thank God.
Very good to hear. Yeah, I suppose I didn't have too many questions that I needed answered from the Blues, other than maybe ones that we're looking at, like your Liam Reedy, and that's kind of it. So what did you see their ruck split as?
Well, let me have a look. I'll go quickly look at CBAs for... I mean, it's about a 70-30 split. It's pretty much what we saw in the scratch matches as well. So, yeah, if I go down here. So, yeah, Pitto had 32 hitouts, 54% ruck contests, and Reedy had 19 hitouts for 44% ruck contests. And Cripper had 1 ruck contest, so... Or 1%, so probably about 1. So yeah, it's that's what it is. I don't think we're picking Brady. I just don't. I see him possibly being in and out of the side, and I don't see that ruck role being too fruitful for him. So yeah, we're not picking him, I don't think. There was another exciting rookie in Wade Dirksen, who did score an 83, had 14 kicks. Where is he? Wade Dirksen, yeah, 4 handballs, 8 marks, which is good, playing like a kind of intercepting role. He hasn't been picked tomorrow night though, unfortunately. Obviously Jacob Wiedering back into the side, so
Yeah.
I think he's definitely a no-go there. But yeah, there's not too much else from the Blues, is there?
Nah, I don't think so. And like you said, this is just quick, so happy to move on.
Yeah, well, let's go through to Geelong, and really not much else here, apart from maybe one guy we'll talk about, Tanner Bruin. 108 points, he scored 15 kicks, 12 handballs, 9 marks, 3 tackles. He played off half-back for the first half and then moved into the midfield and didn't look as great in the midfield, but man, he looked good off half-back. He was everywhere.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I really like to look at him, and even though it's the Amy series, he kind of forced a lot of people's hands. I saw a lot of people put him into their side, which
Yeah,
is odd
definitely.
because there hasn't been too much talk about him. I think he was like training over at Port Adelaide a little bit, training with the Cats, all that. Had that little bit ups and downs, and all of a sudden, 108 and bang, he's in everyone's, myself included, he's in everyone's side. So something to look at. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, well, he's kind of in that, like, there's a lot of names floating around there, like a Rouston. There's a Xavier Lindsay around that 500 to 600k mark. That I think everyone who had a player there, like I had Roaston there, and then after this game I saw Bruin and I swapped it, and then it sat with me for a bit and I swapped it back, and I do have Roaston sitting there now. But I think Bruin will be a good pick. I mean, round 2 buy sucks, but for a guy who's like 500k, we can bypass that anyways. And he seems to have a pretty good role. They did have a couple missing, but no one in his position really. Bailey Smith didn't play, and Grind Myers also didn't play. But they don't really, I mean, I guess it's 2 high scorers, you know, 100, 110 guy and probably an 80 or a 90 guy. Probably bumps him down a little bit. This is probably a good game for him in terms of market share, but yeah, he had a great game. He was fantastic.
Awesome. That's kind of all it we're looking with the Cats, eh?
Yeah, I know. So let's move on to the Sydney Derby in the preseason. Swans versus the Giants. And for the Swans, top scorer was Sheldrick, who's probably another one in that category I didn't mention. So he scored a 117, 20 kicks, 12 handballs, 3 marks, 5 tackles, and 1 goal, 1 behind. He did it on 78% time on ground, which is pretty good. I'll just check his CBAs, but I think he looked like he had a midfield role in there. He was around the ball a lot. Where is he? Yeah, 58% CBA is only beaten by Grundy with 69, and then McInerney, who had 62 as well. So had the same amount as Rowbottom, more than Heaney, more than Warner. So yeah, I mean the role is there if he can take that. Goulden didn't seem to have too many. Oh no, yeah, because he got injured obviously, which is another thing out of this game. So he's playing tomorrow night, so it's not an issue, but it did kind of put a bit of a scare through everyone, I think, and those who might have had him in their side might have taken him out. I've actually put him in after that. It is a slight concern. Yeah. I feel a bit risky doing it, but I mean, we saw some other primos kind of not really do anything, which will be a conversation as we go through these teams. But I mean, yeah, he should be fine. He scored a 23 and 19% game time. He was actually looking quite good before he got injured. So, But, I mean, Sheldrick had the CBA role, so he was good. He's another one that you could go to if you wanted with the round 3 buy.
Another bloke who didn't play that much time on ground but still scored quite well, and some people have actually been considering, is Brody Grundy. Now, finished the year with an absolute stellar run last year, as we all know, but has that buy. Are we willing to start a ruckman with the bye? Because there's another ruck who we'll get to a bit later who started awesome as well. It makes you wonder. It really does.
It really does. I'll just get up his fixture because I don't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, he was great. And that conversation of, I guess we saw quite a few, like Sherry hasn't really looked that great over the preseason. A lot of these but like Jackson, we don't know what the role is. Like it's just a bit risky. Is it worth? Especially if you are, I think if you're going to do it with a buy player like Grundy, you have to go McAndrew R3 or a possible other R3. You have to have someone good playing R3 who's probably a serviceable 70. Because I think if you have Grundy and you've got McAndrew R3 and Grundy's out round 3 and McAndrew comes in and scores you an 80.
That's all right.
That's great. I mean, Grundy could possibly come out and do that, or any other ruck that you pick anyways. So, I mean, Sherry or Jackson could average 80 for the first 5 weeks. It's not impossible. So Grundy, Carlton round 1, round 0, then round 1 he goes the Lions, which should be good against Darcy Fort. Then he's got Lloyd Meek, which should be good. Then the bye, and then the Eagles, which is great. Jared Witts, which is tough, and then Briggs, English, Gawn, Sherry. So maybe a little bit of a tougher run after that. But his first 3 or 4 games are actually pretty good. So I mean, yeah, we could be going there, I guess.
Yeah, something to think about.
Definitely. And we'll get to English obviously later as the other one. But yeah, he's got an 88 from 58% time on ground, 32 hitouts, a goal, 3 marks.
Just see the
kicks, 8 handballs.
Just see what he did with the little ruck rule, how he kind of jabbed at the middle, got the other ruckman jumping. He's already figuring out the rules to the game as well. It's crazy. How long are they going to stand?
I was so not a fan of that either. Like it should. I don't like the way that it was used as like a strategic thing. Like just sure make him jump and all that, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like he deserved to have a free kick against him. Was it? No, it was Madden, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nick Madden. He didn't look too happy. Yeah. He was just head down, smile on his face like, you've got to be kidding me. But
yeah. No, other names there for the Swans. There's not really too much relevant because they all have the bye. I mean, yeah, the other over 100 scorer was Rowbottom with a 106. Heaney had an 86. Blakey an 82. It's all pretty average scores there. This one did look... I think this was the one where it rained a bunch, or at least was pretty dewy. So scoring was down, which again plays into Grundy's hand of the fact that he can score an 88 with that is fantastic. Yeah, that's about it for the Swans, I think. Jai Sarong, who I've been pretty hot on this season, actually, he looked really good, kind of playing like a halfback wing. Scored a 60 from 80% time on ground, 85% time on ground, sorry. 11 kicks, 4 marks, 7 handballs. He looks great. I think that we can give him a bench spot. He'll be a good, solid, and he got named guy who might pop a couple of scores.
Well. He got named for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So he'll play.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. He's on my bench at the moment, which is good because I did ride pretty hard for him. So
nice. Yeah, nice.
That's good. Let's go over to the Giants, though, and top scorer for them was Toby Green with a 98, and he actually had some CBAs as well, which was really interesting. He was pretty much their number one midfielder, if I just find his numbers here. Yeah, 77% CBAs, and then it went Cornelio at 69%, Clayton Oliver at 65%, and Harry Roston at 58%, and then obviously the 2 rucks as well. And Briggs didn't play in this game as well, so... it was hard to get a read on that too, unfortunately, because, we were looking in the scratch matches at, what's his name? Riccardi, and whether he's going to play number 1 ruck. So, yeah, that was a bit disappointing. But, yeah, Green, I mean, could you pick him in the forward line with the bye?
Probably not in Classic, but he jumps up your draft. If that position stays, he jumps up your draft well higher than what we thought. Especially just because
if he's playing midfield for most of the year, if he's playing midfield for most of the year, he probably could be a top 6 forward. I mean, we'll get DPP and all that kind of stuff. But at the moment, I mean, the forward line's okay in Classic, I think, because we've got a lot of value options who we're hoping can kind of just hit 80.
Yeah.
Whereas I think he's a guy that if he's playing the midfield, he could go 90 or 95. Well, maybe not 95. He's probably not close to the 100 mark, but he can pop some great scores. So... I don't know, maybe it's one to think about after his bye if he's still got the role. I mean, Callahan will be back in then. I think it's probably just a bit too short-term of a play for a guy who's that expensive and has the bye. So I think it's a no for me.
For sure.
Other names in this game. So Lockie Ash had an 86, which was fine. Cornelio was the other midfielder there. Had 74 from 74% game time. 5 tackles for him, which was good. And 11 kicks, 1 mark, 9 handballs. So he was pretty good. I wish that he was a forward. He would be literally the perfect guy to... And he had forward status a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah.
From my memory. So he would have been great. I don't think we're doing that in Classic, though. A lot of these guys would be great if they didn't have the bye. But one guy that maybe could bypass the bye is Harry Roston, who I mentioned before. 15 kicks, 4 handballs, 1 mark, 4 tackles for a 73. So he was good. Had the midfield role. Looked quite comfortable in it. And I mean... Okay, so Tom Green's out for the year, and they were missing Callahan as well. Who from that CBA mix of Green, Oliver, Roston gets knocked down from Callahan?
It's probably Green first, yeah.
That's what I would think as well. Despite him being like the number
The
one
better
CBA
player,
guy
yeah.
for one game, albeit, I think that Roaston is just that kind of 50-ish% guy. Yeah, 58% he had. I
Yeah.
don't think he'll ever be a 70% mid, or at least not this year. So yeah, that's probably my read on that, I guess.
That's a fair enough thing to think as well, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's definitely classic relevant. You could definitely do it. I mean, I'm doing it right now. He's sitting in my Where is he? Oh no, I'm actually not doing it. I have Xavier Lindsay over him, actually. So sorry about that, but he would be sitting. I think it's a big debate with the whole McAndrew thing, how it fits your structure. But I think you would want these guys to probably be sitting either way at like M6 minimum. These like
Yeah.
mid prices. Because I think you probably want 4 premiums. The way that I've tried to structure is having one guy at the top, which has been Dawson, Merritt, or Goulden. It's currently Goulden.
Yeah.
Butters and Steele, and then one of like Sarong, Walsh, or like LDU. Like kind of a real underpriced, priced under 100 kind of guy who could go over that. Then you've got Parrish there at M5. And then I think we can fit one of these 500k guys in and a couple rookies. Because the midfield rookies are actually pretty thin now. I mean, we saw Sam Cumming go down with a shoulder, which we'll talk about later, which was unfortunate. But a lot of these defenders are putting their hands up. And another one is James Leake, who's in this same game, scored a 70. He was pretty good, defender forward, so could be an option for us as well. Yeah, I think that if you've got Rosen sitting at your M6, you could be sweet.
He could be sitting quite nicely indeed. Yeah.
What was your read on your boy Clayton Oliver? Is he still on your side?
He's not in my side actually. He still could. He didn't look like he was trying particularly hard. So when we get to the back half of this podcast and we talk about what we're looking for in games, he'll be number one on what I'm looking for my structure. But fortunately for me, him and LDU are priced so closely together that I've been pivoting between those two without having to do much moving around on my team at all. But no, his role is there. He's CBA's, what was he, number 2, I think, or something like that. And I think it'll stay like that. I don't think he's going to drop. He might even get number 1 CBA's if Toby Green's not playing a consistent role, if he goes into midfield and all that sort of stuff. When Callahan comes back, it'll be Callahan. But Clary, until then, I can see him cruising on 90 to 95 for the first 4 weeks, which is what I needed just to get him through to Goulden's bye. And then I was going to switch him for Goulden. But we'll have to wait and see. I really want to see a good score from him in opening round. But like I said, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 58's just a bit. But I guess, I mean, he didn't... I don't know if he has anything to prove. I mean, he's got that midfield spot locked down, especially with their injuries. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely an opening round thing.
Yeah.
That's about it for the Giants, though. Let's move over to Brisbane v Gold Coast, the Q-Clash preseason game. Top scorer for the Lions was Lockie Neal with the 108. He was solid, but we're not picking him. We're not picking a lot of these guys with the round 2 bye. Levi Ashcroft, 104. Dunkley, 103. So some good scores in there. Obviously, the Giants are going to be able to score this year. There were just a couple names. So Lincoln McCarthy still had that half back row, scored an 89. Actually, did he? He did have it in this game. Am I thinking of the scratch match?
No,
he did. Yeah. He still kicked 2 goals, which is why I thought for a second that maybe he might have swung forward within the game. I didn't catch much of this one, but yeah, 15 kicks, 3 handballs, 7 marks is the big thing for me. So those marks definitely. Zorko didn't play this one, which is probably the one flag, and maybe where we'd want to see something in opening round from him. But I think he's like a 400 and something K forward or something. Like he's cheap.
Yeah, I actually floated him in my side after the preseason match, not the Amy season one, the scratch match, or whatever you call it. Like after that role, it just fit where he sits quite nicely, but not anymore.
Yeah. And obviously Kitty Coleman's the other one that we're slightly interested in. Still played on that kind of half forward. So 10 kicks, 4 handballs, 6 marks, just for a 58. I think we're just veering away from this. I don't think we can do it.
Nah, neither do I. It's not going to be enough for us to justify picking a buy player at that value. His value is not going to increase quick enough. We can set a line for him later, but I don't think we're picking him.
No. And the only other relevant name there is Dan Annable, the rookie who didn't play in this one either, which is just puts across to him, I guess, for now. Hopefully he'll come in later in the year and we can downgrade to him.
Yeah.
Over to Gold Coast, though, and we saw Petrarca, the top scorer, with just an 88. So they didn't score too well as a team, but, I mean, he was good, had the role.
Yeah.
Obviously, Rao didn't play, and Anderson was there, but had the pretty much almost, actually, I'll check his CBAs, but it looked like he was kind of the number one guy over Anderson. Like
It was just
he was
tick
there
for
all
roll.
the time.
100%.
Yeah.
If you had him, if you had Petrarca, you saw enough. You saw exactly what you needed. Just tick on that. Don't even second guess it. Leave him in your side.
I honestly think if you didn't have Petrarca, I think he's a lock.
Yeah.
I think you have to. I know he has the bye, which is maybe the only flag on him, and there's a lot of these guys that keep floating through my forward line with this round 3 bye. McDonald, Buderick, and I mean then having Goulden in a midfield as well. If you're picking a Tim English or a Brody Grundy, like it's starting to get to a bit of a stacked bye. But yeah, 73% CBAs over Noah Anderson's 68 was great. 4 tackles, 12 kicks, 12 handballs, 3 marks. I mean, he was just great. I think that we can almost lock this one in.
For sure.
Going down the list there, yeah, Anderson with a 77 was just ticking the wheels over. Leo Lombard was fantastic with 3 goals,
great.
scored a 71, so we're locking him in our forward bench. I think we just have to do that one. He's a basement price, which is handy. And there's no real other names, I don't think.
Other than Zeke.
Zeke Yuland, yeah, 33 and
It's not
67% game time.
Not in my side as it stands. Yours?
Neither.
Yeah.
I think that I know that we're not like we shouldn't really care about the price of rookies, but if I need to shave cash off of someone
first to go.
just to get a premium, 50k up, he's the first guy I've gone with, and it just my point keeps getting proven that I don't think he'll be a great pick. He just can't do it. And again, if he comes out and scores like an 80 or a 90 in opening round, we're all picking him because of that cash rise anyway. So that might be the thing of just, do we go for him for the extra cash rise? But yeah, I think we can probably put a line through him.
Yes, we can.
Well, Melbourne v Richmond is next on our list. And this one does have a slight flag because they did stop it due to lightning.
That was pretty
start of
crazy.
the third quarter, which was disappointing because we actually do have a lot of relevant players in this. Melbourne have become a relevant side for my thinking of my team this year. So let's start there. And essentially, I reckon we can probably, hypothetically, if they were going to go the same way for the rest of the match, we can probably add another 40% on.
Yeah.
So, I think that maybe, a 55 or a 60 is about 100. So if we look at the top, Jack Steele with a 62, we can probably assume that was probably going to be a bit over a ton. Big tick, we're picking him. Caleb Windsor at 56, probably was around a ton or high 90s.
Forced
Massive
hand.
tick. Yeah, I don't think he's a lock yet, but I think that I have a lot of faith in him being a good pick. He just looked like a really good guy in there. I mean, apart from Gawn, obviously he was the highest for CBAs with Trent Rivers. Both had 57%, Steele with 52%, and Pickett with 52%. And then Sparrow and Langford in there for 43 and 33%. So he's got the role. I mean, he's got the ability to do it. I just wonder whether the question's been, is he an impact player or is he an accumulator? And obviously we'd rather him be an accumulator, get those kicks, handballs, marks. But look, I think either way he's in my side, priced at 50. The one tackle is also a slight concern. I'd like to see him tackle a little bit more.
Yeah. No, I think I really liked what I saw in the short amount of time that we had. Just the fact that he was in that midfield and looked to stay there and looked comfortable as well. So I really liked that from Windsor. And when Newman went out with that suspension and I was wondering what my structure was going to look like, down to Caleb Windsor. There's 200 cash
definitely.
that I just used somewhere else straight away, and it was such a nice feeling. So I really like him in my side, and I like what my structure looks like with him there too.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention as well when in the Carlton game, Newman did play VFL for that game, and obviously now he's suspended from the VFL game, so won't play until after their bye anyway, which is kind of possibly a blessing in disguise. I think that it probably would have been the smart thing to pick him after the bye, but yeah, down to Windsor is definitely a good pick. Or could you go up to Rivers, who also had a 56, same amount of CBAs, did play 38% game time though, as opposed to Windsor's 85%, which again, in a shortened game, there's, the gap's slightly less, but that's pretty good.
That is pretty good, but sure, we can't pick Trent Rivers. He's been so inconsistent over the last couple of years with his role, let alone his scoring. So he's never been able to string together consistent runs with scorings, nor have we been able to knuckle down and say, yep, Trent Rivers is going to play some midfield time this year, and we're actually going to see it, because there was all talks about that last year as well, and it didn't happen. It happened for a couple games here and there, but like never back to back. We never enough to give him a run, or never enough for us to have a run at him in our fantasy sides.
Yeah.
So I'm
and when
good.
you crunch the numbers, on his CBA games as well, his scoring's not that great either.
Yeah, right.
Like it's not. It's pretty much the same of kind of that 80 whatever he's priced at, whether he plays halfback or in the midfield. So I mean, yeah, I just think it's a bit too risky of a pick. We've got enough options back there, I think. Because what is it? Is he 800k? He's priced around that like kind of Colby, Bergman, McCarthy area, I think, which I think you're picking all three of those. Yeah, 865k. So yeah, I think you're picking all of those over him. Where was I? Cozzy Pickett, a 50, so probably that's like a 90-ish. So he was pretty good and did that with no goals as well, 3 behinds. So it's a good sign. Had a lot of CBAs. 52% there, close to the top. So could you do it? I mean,
yeah, no, not with. I don't think him being the same price as Petrarca pretty much, and the fact that if you don't have Petrarca, you've got Cozzy, that you could switch them without having to change your teams too much. There's so much more of an upside with Petrarca, even though he's got the bye. There's so much more upside with his fresh little run at the start. He plays West Coast. I think you just got to go Petrarca over him. Because I'd be fair to say that it's a race between those two if you're looking at that kind of position in the forward line.
Yeah.
And maybe even Sheasel as well, but you go Sheasel in front of Cozzy, no brainer. Really.
Well, I have Petrarca and Pickett. That's my F1 and 2. So I think I agree with you. I think the only way you can pick Pickett is if you don't, like, if you're not keen on Sheasel. I think that you kind of Petrarca is the lock for me. Like he hasn't moved out of my forward line all preseason.
Yeah.
It's either Sheasel, Petrarca, Flanders, and the dog's breakfast that is the rest of my forward line, or it's Petrarca, Pickett, Flanders, and everyone else. So it's right. I think that's probably the structure that you want to go with. You can't have Pickett at F3 is just too much. You're investing too much into a pretty shit line, I think.
Agreed.
Christian Salem was around that same mark with a 50 as well. Did it again on much less game time with 56%. So he looked good. Lindsay actually had most of the kick-ins. I think he had, let me have a look. I think it was 4 or 5 to Salem's like 1 or something. Where is he? So yeah, Salem had, where are kick-in numbers? Oh, there we go. So 1, and yeah, Lindsay had 4. So, I mean, he was still being used back there, Salem. I was keen on him early preseason, and I took him out because of those injury issues. But maybe he could be someone that sneaks back into our side. I think I'm there's other options that are a bit better. I think there. I don't think we need to be going there. But Lindsay though,
price of 500.
I think we can be going there. Yeah,
it's not a bad pick.
He gets me most excited about those mid prices because I don't know what your take on how much this affects these mid prices is, but I feel like his longevity in the side is much better than someone like Bruin or Roaston. Like once those mids for GWS come back in, he could be, Roaston could be kind of shafted. I don't think he'll be dropped, but his scoring could lower a lot. And I mean, Geelong's Geelong. Once someone comes back in that is a good enough player, and they'll probably have some pick 80 something that ends up being the next, Dane Zorko on the halfback. So I don't know about Bruin's job security. It should be good for a while, but I can't see Lindsay moving from there for the year. He had this role last year, scored well in it, but had injury-affected scores. He just seems like the most solid guy there for me. And with a 45, which again probably would have been like an 85, that's solid. If he can average himself 80, that's great.
I agree. I like it. And I was holding him when we were doing our club previews all the way back when I brought him up over like a blokes like a Langdon and that kind of thing for the rest of the team. I just like exactly what you said. I like his role and I like the consistency of it and the better chance of a longevity at it, or however you phrased it. I think he's got his role and it's going to stick. That's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. And I think as well that him probably gaining DPP as well, like we'll be able to put him into our backlines too, which is good. So structure-wise, if he's my D6 until the last few weeks of the season, fantastic. I mean, even if you had him and Windsor sitting back there together after round 6, it could be good. But obviously he is a straight mid at the moment, which is, I mean, if he was a defender, he's straight into my side. But as a mid, maybe it's a little bit more of a discussion, but I think he's still straight in there. Other names for the Demons, there's not much. I mean, Latrell Pickett had a 26, so probably about a 50. I think he's just... There's a couple other forward options that have poked their heads in that I think that maybe he's just over that 300k mark. I'm not willing to do that, I don't think.
No, agreed.
And that's about it for the Demons. So if we go over to Richmond, and top scorer for them was Jaden Short with a 79, which, again, would have been like a 120 or something if it was a full game. So good on him, but we're not picking him. McAuliffe was good, and I actually did see some people mention him possibly as an option.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm keen on it. Didn't have any CBAs. I'll check his what's it called? Like map. Oh, do they have these for the
preseason?
The disposal maps for the preseason? I don't think they do.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't quite catch. He was kind of all around the ground, so
yeah,
I guess you could say like a wing. Maybe he played on. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, 66 for him was great. 10 kicks, 7 handballs, 7 marks was good. So he got around it a fair bit. But yeah, it's kind of the rookies we're looking for at Richmond, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And a bit of unfortunate news coming out of that run is Sam Cumming, who a lot of us had, all of us had, is out, injured. I don't know what he did. I was too busy laughing at the 7AFL graphic. But it was...
That was good.
Yeah, but he's hurt and he's going to miss the first month or so, which sucks because I know Taj Houghton's missing as well. A few of those young Tiger boys and now as well Josh Smiley's injured as well. So a few of those guys who were really looking at to play some time with the Tigers are just all injured, which sucks. But there are a few that popped their heads up, like your Sam Grill, only scored a 39. But had a good role, and 11 disposals. Looked clean, like he looked up to standard with his disposals. His efficiency was nice, and
he'll stay on the side.
Yeah, I agree. And then Sam Lawler was the other one. He looks good, man. He looks like he wasn't trying too hard. He looks pretty good.
Without coming there, I know he didn't play in this game anyways. But I mean, a 42, probably about a 75 or an 80. Is that all we want from Lawler? I mean, I think if he averages 75, I think that ends up being a good pick in the forward line, especially.
Price at what he is at 500 and something.
He's not in my side at the moment, just because my structure kind of like Philippou's my F5, and then it goes straight down to Devrob.
Yeah.
But if McDonald or Philippou both do something in opening round that is not for me, I could easily be persuaded going into Lawler. I mean, he probably doesn't have quite the height of those guys, but no buy is a factor. He probably has better job security, at least in the midfield. Like he's further solidified into Richmond's midfield than either of those two. And obviously he's cheaper as well. So definitely a conversation to be had around him. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, for sure. And so
that
does it.
Yeah. Is that about it for Richmond? Anyone else you want to mention?
No, that was it.
All good. Let's move on to the Bulldogs and the Hawks. Unfortunately, again, a bit of an irrelevant game because of some buys for both these clubs. But English was the main story out of this. 131. He was amazing. 17 kicks, 6 marks, 6 handballs, 2 tackles, 28 hitouts, and 2 goals to go with that as well. All from 77% time on ground for a big 131. He was just elite. I mean, these ruck rules are not going to affect him at all. If anything, they could possibly benefit him.
Exactly. He's getting around the ground faster and quicker than the other blokes. And Ned Reeves is no walkover either. Lloyd Meek's no walkover either. He just but English just one hitouts, just did it well, did it easily. But then it wasn't even the hitouts that happened. It was his work afterwards. He got a couple of tackles after. Both of his 2 tackles were chased down in the midfield as well, just after a bounce or a ball up. And he's moving around the ground, taking contested marks. He took a couple of contested marks. He looks good. Did you see the game, or were you just looking at stats?
I didn't see this one. No, I'm just looking at stats at the moment.
No, he looked very good. I watched it. His eye test. He passed it easily. He looks very fit. He looks strong, and he looks like these rules don't affect him at all. So yeah. Yeah,
and the good thing for him is that Meekie, he's not a hard matchup. He's a middle of the range matchup, but he does sometimes. People sometimes pop a big score against him, and English is one who has actually done that in the past, and he plays him again in round 5 after a run of Essendon, McAndrew, Briggs probably, and Fort. Fort, Briggs, McAndrew,
Blackie,
Blackiston, Meek, Geelong, whoever that ruck is, Sam DeConning.
It's a pretty good run.
And then, Grundy, the Freo rucks, Port, Carlton, Melbourne, Collingwood. He goes a bit whiff after that. But that first run, he could average 130 in that. I mean, that'll be elite
very
for
easily.
him. So do we pick him with the bye?
That's the question. That is the question. He currently sits in my side.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. Just because. Oh no, I'd tell a lie. It's still Sherry. But he was in my side for a lot of the weekend. But
I told a lie when I said interesting because he is my R1 as well. So I didn't think I'd actually put him there, but I did.
Yeah, nice. Well, I don't mind it. I think we can. And it wasn't until I asked the same question that you just said, can he average 130? And my answer was just yes. That it was like, oh,
yeah,
hang on, that's pretty good. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, 120 is probably a little bit more realistic, but I think that he definitely could do that with that easy run, and definitely pop some captain scores if you're looking at your team, you go, oh, I don't really have any captain options. Upgrade to English, man. I mean, he's going to be great.
Yeah.
But other names there for the doggies. So if we look at their they had Libba 115, Kennedy 112, Bont 102. So it looks like their midfield scoring is going to be similar to last year, where kind of their main 3 or 4 all ton up.
Yeah.
So 82% there for Bont. So he was the main midfielder. And then 76 for Ed Richards, 67 for Kennedy, 42 for Libba, and 21 for Joel Frazier as well. Sanders would have had more. He had 12%, but he did get concussed in this game, unfortunately, which means he'll be out for opening round, but probably back for round 1, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's actually scored an 85 off 66%, so he was looking good. But yeah, Libba, Kennedy, Bont, Richards is the main 4, and apart from English, they were the 4 biggest scorers, so it looks like that's kind of going to be what they're going to be again.
Yeah, you'd think so.
This year, and largely kind of irrelevant, except for a couple of names I want to mention. So there is Connor Buderick, who I'm going to take him. Like he's going to be my guy because I mentioned him as far back as our club previews when no one else was talking about him. Now he's not in my side currently, but I floated with the idea of playing around with like getting rid of a mid-pricer somewhere and putting him at F6. But I think I like Devon Robertson too much to do that. I think he's going to be good. But Buderick's a pick. I mean, he scored an 81 off 80% time on ground with 12 kicks, 9 handballs, 6 marks, 2 tackles. Bailey Dale, I think they came out today and said that he'd play round 1, right? Or did they say that he wouldn't? Yeah.
I think they said no for opening round, but round 1, yeah.
Right. So then maybe that affects him a little bit because obviously know him in this game. And Lockie Jacks was the other one there with a 63, so he was solid as a rookie there in that same role.
And he's been named as well.
So yeah, so I think we're locking my defender bench as it sits is him and Sarong on the bench.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's him and Lindsay on the bench, but I have Sarong on my utility spot.
Yeah.
And then obviously grilled there as well. Grilled? Grilled. Sorry, I had grilled for dinner last night. That might be what I'm thinking about. But yeah, there's no other names for the Bulldogs there. I don't think that we're talking about. No. So let's go over to the Hawks, and it's really one guy, isn't it? And that's Connor McDonald. Scored an 86, 77% tog, 19 kicks, 3 handballs. So his kick to handball ratio that's elite, 19 to 3. 1 mark, 4 tackles, 1 goal. So the marks is probably what we'd want to see increasing a little bit. And the interesting thing for this is the guy when we're talking about opening round scores. He's the one I'm going to be watching the closest.
Yeah.
And the good news is that Newcomb, as per the other great Channel 7 graphic, did get off of his suspension. So we will get to see him in opening round because the worry was that McDonald might kind of be a bit more of a midfielder without Newcomb there, and we get fooled into picking him, and then Newcomb comes back and he's back to whatever he was. But we'll get to see this full side here and where McDonald sits in that, which should be good. But he looks good for now. So if he keeps doing what he's doing, and I think we'll talk about lines again later, but it's probably about an 80 for me, I think.
Agreed. Yeah, that's a good line, I think. Yeah, I was thinking more 85 just because I have more faith. Like, I currently sit without Philippou. I have Lawler and I don't have Philippou, so I want McDonald scoring a little bit higher just so I can justify not having him over Philippou, if you're with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm keen on Lawler and Buderick as well. So there's definitely, and with Philippou, who we'll get into here when we go to St Kilda and Essendon, Philippou's another name. So what did he do? Where is he? There he is. 76 points off 84% time on ground, 10 kicks, 19 handballs, 2 marks, 1 tackle. He's a bit of a handball merchant. I watched pretty much all of this game. He's very much gets in and dirty, but handball out guy. He's not super good at peeling off and getting those +6s around the ground, which is what kind of we'd love him to do.
Yeah, right.
So that's my only concern with him, and we'll watch for that in the preseason game, obviously. But yeah, I mean, the 76 is good, and he had the midfield role. He, from a football point of view, he looked fantastic. I mean, he's a good player, and hopefully he can stay fit. But yeah, those CBO numbers there had 59%, so that was behind Flanders also on 59%. Wanganeen Miller on 62%. Whereas so McRae 45% was behind him, so he's pretty much third in line, I guess.
Yeah.
Obviously except the ruckman, but that's a good spot for him to be in, I think. And they had a full side, so
I like it. I think it's good enough to pick. It's a tick, but I like McDonald more as it stands.
yeah,
So for someone like myself who's tossing up between those two, but then again, we get to see both of these guys in opening round, which is so good. It feels like everyone we've talked about so far we see in opening round as well. But
yeah, I know.
no, it does make me. Oh, it's because they all played early games, obviously. So they could play
That is a
opening
good
round.
point.
Anyway, yes, I'm excited to see how he goes. Because there's so many other guys in his team that are just like straight ticks, like we saw Flanders tick anything you ever wanted. If you had Sinclair in your team, tick, you keep him. Even a Windhager played really well. You brought his name up before. I'll give you that one as well. He played really well as well. 41 disposals. Obviously, he won't do that every game, but like a couple of those guys are so good. It's like, can you just pick those boys and leave a Filippo out and go with someone else from a different team to not hurt you later on down the road, or do you just pick them all because they're all that good? Like,
Yeah, I know we've got to weigh up. I mean, we're saying this round 4 bye is the easiest, but a lot of us will have Roaston now. And I mean, I've got a Sinclair and a Flanders sitting there and a Philippou and some other. I mean, Windhager was good, and I can't remember if did I have St Kilda or did you have St Kilda? Or maybe we were talking about midfielders. I remember I wanted to talk about Windhager, but I think I left him out.
I think
just because we had like too many options or something, and I didn't think that he was relevant enough. But I mean, he's been there. So had 3 kick-ins, played a little bit off kind of like a half back, but still had 28% CBO, so did play some midfield time as well. But yeah, 140 is crazy. And yeah, Sinclair you mentioned as well, 149. He was fantastic too. He was already in my side, and I'm kind of a little bit mad that he went 149 because now everyone else is going to pick him as well. I wanted him to stay a little bit unique. But yeah, 149 is crazy. He looked great. 33 kicks and 10 marks.
it's pretty good.
I mean, that's good. And obviously Wanganeen Miller did what Wanganeen Miller does, 22 kicks, 5 marks, 6 handballs, 2 tackles, and 4 goals as well. Spent some time forward, which I may have called a bit too early in our group chat as a flag, and I was going, oh, you can't pick him, and then he comes out and scores a 120, and I was just like, man, that backfired a little bit. But I still don't think you can pick him. I think that it's probably a bit too expensive, but he was great, fantastic. So, and actually the other name I wanted to mention was Tom de Koning. I feel like he's been a bit underrated in this ruck talk because these rules are going to, like, he is the player that I feel like they want these rules to benefit.
Yeah, right.
And he's still hitting his peak. I mean, he was good last year, but 103 is fantastic. And he 24 hitouts to Rowan Marshall's 9, so he's the clear number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was great.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm not going to pick it, obviously, but in draft, I don't think you have to be as scared as you do. And if you do, if you've got a deep draft, then you're picking de Koning over Marshall.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And I think that probably
like
after that, like, English, Gawn, Sherry, Grundy, he might be the kind of next guy that I go for, I reckon.
I'm sorry, you keep cutting it out. I'm just hoping you I'm hoping you get like through your sentence and then you start another one. I can kind of gauge what you're talking about, but
I'm trying to like speak over the
delay,
cutting out.
yeah.
So phone call, recording podcasts.
Not the greatest.
Tough, but we make it through, and we'll be back in person, of course, for Thursday nights and Mondays as well, which will be good. We'll get to show you the studio. Didn't get to last week. Had to show you the outdoor studio, Studio 2. So that was fun. But yeah, we'll be back in there next week. But let's move over to Essendon. And the one guy I really want to talk about is Archie Roberts. with a big 106. Now, I didn't really do much work on him in the preseason, but I mean, he played really well.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it. I remember the both of us talked about it a little bit in our Essendon preview. We were just like, can we really even bring him up? The answer is yes. Clearly, we can bring him up because we're doing it now. But
I think we can pick him too.
Yeah, right.
I actually see at the moment, because I have the cash from going McAndrew R2, I've got Rosie and Sinclair sitting there.
Yeah.
But if I ever needed the cash, Sinclair could turn into Roberts. I mean, he had a fantastic role off of it was like a halfback with CBAs, and he was just like, he was playing the Nick Martin role, was kind of what it was. Yeah, 55% CBAs, but then floated back as well. It was kind of playing like wing halfback everywhere. 14 kicks, 9 marks, 4 tackles, just like filled out his stat line properly. It was a really, really solid game from him. I was really impressed with his game. So he was fantastic. And yeah, 106. I mean, look, if he can start doing that in the preseason and because, yeah, 900K probably priced around 86, 87. So if he can push 95 to 100, that's a really good pick, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't mind it at all.
Other names there for the Bombers. So Caldwell, popular option, 87, just did what he did. Blackerston was fantastic on an 86. So he's definitely, you have to lock him in now at D5. Who else was there? Merritt was an interesting one. So he spent the whole first quarter at like full forward. He did what Dawson did in the match sim, and he kind of did what it was like I was watching, and him and Wangan and Miller were the two full forwards.
Yeah, right.
It was kind of weird, and to me, it felt like a preseason thing that they were just doing, but it completely scared me out of picking Merritt. Like, there's no way I pick him to start the season now. It's like, it can be enough to scare you to the point you don't think it's going to happen, but you're paying like 1.1 mil for this guy, or almost that. I just think it's way too risky for what could happen.
Oh, for sure. And there's other blokes around that price who we've already talked about and who I like a lot more, like your Jack Steels, like even a Sam Walsh I prefer more than with the buy. I could just prefer it more. So hard to pick. But Bombers for the lower price blokes, I'm keen on.
Like that. Yeah, well then there's a lot of rookies as well there, and obviously we saw Parrish 70. He was great. But so Newen was actually good. I haven't heard his name mentioned a lot, and I'm not sure what his price at or what his position is, but he was really good. He kind of played like kind of a back pocket type thing. So he could definitely be on the radar for us. Yeah, 314K defender. Played 5 or so games, I think, last year. So he's a little bit experienced. He scored a 62 and 72% game time. Dyson Sharp, I've heard people like saying that he kind of had a bit of a like hot and cold game. From what I saw from him, he was fantastic. Like his kicking was precision. Every time he got the ball, he was fantastic. Like pinning kicks inside 50. So he kind of looks like Timu Jagger, which is a compliment. Like that's not a bad thing. I'm not like saying that's like
I get you.
Jagger was elite, but it was the same kind of thing, just like a little bit less, not as amazing. But he was weaving in and out of stoppages, getting handball receives. The one thing I would like more from him is to get a bit freer across the ground, get some of those plus sixes. But yeah, 50, I think he's locked into my midfield because I saw the role. The scoring wasn't there, but I saw the role. And another guy who I think that I've probably locked in is Jacob Farrow. So he had a 29, which is probably what's turning me off, but he looks good back there. Maybe just a little bit, looked a bit young, like a couple mistakes, a couple of like, should have been in a better position type things. But I think that they probably just play him through that, especially being the young-ish side that they are. I don't think that there's much issue there for his job security, and he should be a good scorer for us. So I think we can pick that.
Yeah, I've got them both as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's about it for the Bombers. So let's go over to Freo and Adelaide. And for Freo, Josh Tracy was top scorer, but really top scorer in our eyes was Murphy Reid. He was the big name out of this one. Scored 100, 16 kicks, 14 handballs, 5 marks, 2 tackles, and did that with no goals as well. So he had a midfield role, which was really solid. And I've seen, media people saying that he's going to be the best player for them since Nat Fyfe, and that he's, this, great thing. He's played one good preseason game, so calm down a bit. But yeah, 28 CBAs, he did that on 82% TOG as well. He was good, and at 400 something K or 500 something K or whatever he is, could he be an option in our forward lines? Yeah, 581K.
Yeah, simple as that. Yeah, he could be, and I've had him in my side a little bit, here and there, literally since that game. But you're right, it is everyone's kind of jumping on him now, but
Mm.
he's good, and he's gonna have that role throughout the season. I think it's fair to say. It's not like his disposal numbers are going to go down much from where they are. If he can flip his handball and kick ratio to get maybe more 60-30 rather than 16 and 14, if he can get that more to like a 20 and 10, then that'd be
Yeah.
much better. And the other thing with Murphy Reed is we know he can kick goals as well. Like he's kicked goals in the
Yeah.
past, from the midfield, from the wing, that kind of area. So we can do it. So that'll boost his scoring a little bit too. And I was impressed. I'm not going to start with him, but I'm not going to. He's on my radar for sure. As someone who I
Well,
might like to go to.
this is kind of the thing that makes me feel like I'm being a bit too reserved with this. Is like he strikes me as like a Cozzy type player where he's got the midfield role, but he'll float forward and score some goals. And sometimes when those goals aren't there, sometimes he might drop a 50 or a 60. Like he strikes me as that mid forward type when we'd rather like a mid defender type, like what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Archie Roberts is doing in that kind of Nick Martin role. So, I mean, I think Reed will be a good pick. And if he can even go near Cosby, if he averages 75, it's a good pick because he's priced at, yeah, probably about 55, I think. So if you put 20, 25 points upside on that,
Yeah.
that's an elite pick. And no buy as well is the other thing. So him and Lawler, it sucks because I want to see... Freo is like the number one team that I want to see in opening round. Because I did also have Brayshaw and Sarong, who both scored 64s in this game and didn't look great. I would have loved to see what they did not in a preseason game.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see the Jackson role with Sam Darcy back. He scored a 91 and kind of played midfield and second ruck to Cox and also scored 1 goal, 3 playing forward. Like it was just a weird...
Yeah.
I've turned off him now because it's too risky. Hayden Young was also good, but we're not picking him. He scored a 99. But there's so many question marks over some of these Freo guys. I just would like to... I want one more game, but I know we're not going to get it. So, yeah, it's a tough call on some of these guys.
Nah, for sure. I've stuck with Sarong. I've stuck true with that just purely because I've had him from the get go, and I've been so hot on his on how he starts seasons. But yeah, Luke Jackson came out of my side. Brayshaw came out of my side. He was in there as well. Yeah, just... But Murphy Reed looked good. I don't know if we can pick him, but yeah. But
he's definitely on my radar. I think it will be a case of... We talked about Philippou and McDonald before. If either of those guys score an 80, they're locked in. Like they're in my side. If Philippou scores like a 65, I'll be picking Lawler or Reed over him. And same goes to McDonald, obviously. I think it's... If you see an 80 plus for either of those guys, you just go for it. Because we can't guarantee that Reed and Lawler are going to start the same. We can't be begging for too much.
Agreed.
But let's go over to the Crows. And top scorer was Rory Laird, 111, who... Has he gone a bit under the radar as a premium defender with no buy, possibly slightly underpriced? I mean, he's been a great fantasy scorer and player.
He has. Over the past, for sure.
Was it his first year playing off halfback last year? Like, properly all year?
Oh, no. He started his career like that, I'm pretty sure.
Right, okay. But it was the first time he went back there, right? Like, he was in midfielder in 24. Yeah, so 92.6. It wouldn't surprise me if he takes that up to 100.
Yeah, he could.
Like, it wouldn't shock me completely. I would rather be picking, again, guys like Sinclair that have shown that they can do it over numerous years. But, look, it's a little underpriced option without a buy. If you're not keen on, like, a Roberts or someone, you could slightly go up. He's 971k. It could be a pick.
It's not the worst.
He looked great. Looked fantastic. 30 touches, 9 marks in that, 15 kicks, 15 handballs, 82% tog. Yeah, for that 111. Looked good.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
And the other guy who looked good, I didn't see this game, so according to what I've heard, was Jordan Dawson. So back in the midfield, no full forward time, which is good. Although he did have 77% game time on ground, and he seemed to have gone off or something. Like the AFL app said that he was like out, not injured, but out. So I don't know if maybe they rested him or something. I didn't have eyes on this game, but yeah, that was a bit of odd wording. So... Again, just little red flags on a guy I'm paying 1.1 for. It's just puts it straight to a no, I think.
Yeah.
And for him and Mera, who we talked about before, it's why I've got Goulden in my side now because I just can't risk it with those guys.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But Joshua Shelley was good with a 95, so he had that midfield time. Although the worry in this game was there was no Peatling, no Berry, and and there was one other. No, Rankin. I think they were the three, and then obviously it was Dawson, and then you had Rochelle and who was the kid that played a bit of CBA time as well? Was it no, not Marsh? Hold on, let me have a look at their CBAs.
Charlie Edwards.
Charlie Edwards, who had that good game in the match sim. So Dawson. Rochelle 72% game high CBAs. Dawson 64%. Charlie Edwards 68%, and then Ben Keys had 44%.
Right.
And Billy Dowling 36%. Chase Jones 16%. So they kind of just threw everyone who possibly could get a few here and there.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have their midfielders. So the Rochelle's still a flag for me, and I purposely haven't talked about him when we're talking about McDonald, Philippou, Buderick, Lawler, Reed. I think I'm just a no on Rochelle. He's a bit too awkwardly priced for me. If he was maybe more around that 500k mark, possibly, but
yeah,
I just don't think we can do it at 650 or whatever he is.
No, I agree. Just because there's better options who are back, but point of difference player. Look, that's a point of difference if I've ever seen one like that.
Yeah.
If you went with that and he was a smash pick from the start, you'd be in the lead.
So he's 17.5% owned. Murphy Reed is 17.4% owned. Lawler is 20% owned, and Buderick is 4% owned.
There you go.
He could be a little bit of a. I have a feeling that I think, especially with those three, if Buderick pops an 80, a lot of people are going to jump off those three: Rochelle, Lawler, and Reed, and they're going to jump onto the guy who's already got the proven scoring there. So, he could become pretty unique.
Good for sure.
So the main name out of this game, I guess, is Lockie McAndrew, and the discussion of R2, R3, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you what I've got in my side at the moment, because I haven't actually seen too many people discussing this, and I forgot to remember who I saw do this on Twitter and suggest this, so apologies for no shout out to our 7 listeners. I'm sure you would have got a lot of likes on Twitter, but I have McAndrew sitting at R2, and I have Vicentini sitting at R3, who we'll get to when we talk about Port. Is this a play?
Bro, I was so excited to be like, bro, you have no idea. I'm doing something risky with my rucks. I'm doing exactly the same thing. I didn't see this on Twitter or anything. I did this purely just because I watched the Port game. And I was
did it, right.
I did it. But I've got them switched the other way around. But that's because of just price-wise. But that's exactly what I was thinking. Because they match up with their runs pretty well. So you go McAndrew against Collingwood. You go Vicentini against the Bombers. You go McAndrew against the Bombers, I think, again. And you make yourself a green run with the rucks. It's something you can do. It's
both
doable.
Have no buys.
Exactly.
And if I have Tim English sitting there at R1, I've got a cover for him, assuming both are still playing by round 3. And if McAndrew gets dropped after round 1, or Riley O'Brien's come back in, or Jordan Sweet's come back in, I mean, essentially we're taking the punt on worst case scenario is both of them aren't playing. After round 5 is when probably we're going to be wanting to move off at least one of them anyways, which I don't see both of them not playing.
Yeah. No, I think
it's an interesting discussion.
Playing. So I'm so upset that you're doing this as well, because that was going to be my thing for the podcast, but there you go.
Well, I mean, it solidifies my thoughts on it more that you're doing it.
Yes.
To see someone else also have the same idea, I guess.
Same.
So who are you wanting to play there round 1? McAndrew against Darcy Cameron? Or Vicentini against Sherry? Yeah.
Probably McAndrew, just purely because I still, in the back of my mind, think Port might run Sweetie as well. But that's just... And if they do, that'd shut this down straight away. But we'll just got to wait and see. Because I still really rate Sweet. I'm not sure what everyone else sees and why he hasn't been playing these preseason games. But if he's the 2's ruck, he's the 2's ruck. Can't argue with that.
Very odd.
But I will be running McAndrew on field. But it's just something. It's just a play. I just think it's the right idea. When we're talking about, we've got McAndrew, you have to have Cooper Duff Titler to have on your bench. I was like, surely we can just get someone better than that. No offense to my boy, but there's nothing stopping.
Well, we've got the cash to do it because
Exactly.
McAndrew's at R2. Yeah,
exactly, and it's why spend your cash anywhere else on a position that has to be on the bench when you can just spend it in the same position, and then you can use it and swap it out for the good matchups, bad matchups. So it's just a thought. But I wonder if either of us will actually go through with it. But Yeah, looks good.
I feel more confident on this than with Duff Tytler, especially after seeing him, who we'll get to in the next game. After this one, which is North Melbourne versus Collingwood. And North is, I mean, we can almost pretty much skip over Collingwood, who just have no relevant players and had no one score really apart from Josh Dacos with the 99.
Yep.
And they had I think it was Dacos, Sidebottom, Pendlebury, everyone, Darcy Moore, everyone was out of this game. So it was pretty much irrelevant for them. And North, who ended up winning by 1 point, again, to Collingwood's VFL side pretty much. But still, we'll give him the credit. LDU was top scorer with a 124, so he really impressed. If he was in your side, I think you probably are pretty confident with that now. Sheasel was also good with a 109. I didn't catch this game, so I'm not sure of the role. I don't know if you did, maybe saw what his role was.
It was midfield half-back. And the reason he didn't score massively is because the ball was in Collingwood's in Collingwood's back line, in North's forward line, a lot of the game. And Sheasel was out the back as a sweeper, which I was like, well, this is what we want. But then I had this thought of, what if North are just good this year?
No, we're not even entertaining that. No, and no Colby McKercher as well. Probably forced that role a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, 109's good for him playing. I mean, I'll check his CBA numbers, but I assume it was a mostly starting at CBA role.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, so LDU 82%. Shees was 61%, Powell 32%. Oh, and Finn O'Sullivan 71%. So he was all right, scored a 76. I think he's a draft only. I'm not keen on him in Classic. I'm a bit scared off by his rookie year last year, not scoring too well. But the one guy that we should talk about, Tom Blamiers. Where the hell did this guy come from?
He's
92 was signed on early last. Oh yeah, he's in my side too. Basement price midfielder, scored a 92. There's no way they drop him 92 in a win. They're not dropping him for 5 rounds. I'm sure of that. And another rookie as well, Lockie Doverson had a great game, 81, kicked 3 goals. Obviously not going to do that every game, but I mean, if he can even tackle his way to that, he had 6 tackles, which was good. Team high or team draw with LDU, which was fantastic. So he apparently looked good as well. Sherry's the concern here. A 66 when I look at the score sheet. It's just a bit.
He wasn't winning the ruck contests. He looks. It doesn't look like these rules suit him at all, as we all thought. I was trying to hold out hope, but run and jump at the ball, he's getting out jumped every day of the week. It's tough to see.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're not willing to go the Vicentini player, is Coleman Jones a better option at R3 than Duff Tytler? Scored a 49.
Does he play? Do you reckon?
I don't know.
This was bench of 30.
Yeah.
I don't know if he plays. Sherry wasn't unserviceable because he was great around the ground, but it's just literally the centre.
Yeah, he'll never get replaced.
Good.
Yeah. It's an interesting conversation. I mean, Duff Tytler should be, he should be in the side. They'll try and get as many games into him as they can, but yeah. I mean, let's go over to him now. In the last game, West Coast v Port Adelaide, and for West Coast it was the rookies. I mean, Harley Reid was all right with an 82, and Tom McCarthy with a 77. But I'm happy to draw a line through those guys because we saw what we were worried would happen. Once West Coast start getting beaten badly, the scoring's just not there, and we can't afford to be having premiums there, I don't think.
Exactly, yeah. I've dropped McCarthy from my side. He's not in my team anymore, which pains me to say. Same as Harley Reid. I had him in for a little bit. I do have high hopes for Dev Robinson, though. Anyone who had him, he was great. 73, 28 disposals, and had just bulk midfield time. So he's a lock. And
he looked great as well. There were a couple little plays where he rammed through some people, and I was like, who the hell is this
this guy
200 game midfielder they've suddenly got? Oh, it's Dev Robinson.
Exactly.
And also, when I was doing research on him in the preseason, I didn't realize he's been playing AFL for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
He's not a rookie.
Nah,
he's 24.
Yeah, he averaged 90 in the VFL, for a season, or I think more than that even. Anyway,
first game in 2020.
Yeah, he's locked on field for me and for most sides. But yeah, it was just disappointing because same with your Will Dersmers and your Lindsays and your blokes like that. They didn't score overly high. I mean, Dersmer had a 67. That's pretty. 67, which is pretty good, and Lindsay had 76, which was also pretty good. That's not a thing. But yeah, the two of them.
Oh my god.
You can't score highly.
If you're listening to the podcast, Casey's done a 6-7 and then he's done it upside down for 76. Just
Yeah.
go on our YouTube channel and check that out if you're listening. Just you got to see that.
My only defense is that
Clip it and put it everywhere,
literally,
please.
I'm literally on drugs that make me loopy. So that's I have one excuse. And not recreational drugs, everybody. I just came out of literally yesterday. I'm not I'm not just taking some weed. Anyway, this has gone down a really weird path.
I just realized that you just said to the camera, "Yeah, I've had a lot of drugs. Like I'm drugged up right now."
Yeah. Anyway, well, I'm just gonna for the camera. I'm literally in a massive knee brace slap.
Yeah.
Anyway. Lindsay's in your side. Dersma could be, but they're not going to score that highly because they play for West Coast. And
I didn't mind Dersma, though. He's in my side. He really, really gave it a crack. 0 goals, 2, so it could have been 2 goals. A 67 is not bad for a rookie, especially in like a 60-point, 70-point belting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have him because he's 350k, and I prefer to go someone like a Blamiers who's like 230. But I mean, he could be alright. I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be okay, but I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world if you don't have him.
Yeah,
that's probably
I remember
what I'll say on that.
Picking Harley Reid, in my side when he was the number 1 draft pick for the same reasons. Like, he's number 1 draft pick. Yes, he plays for West Coast. All that, and he was a flop. He scored 60s for the entire year. And it's like I just feel a bit of that. Because 60s are good for the first few weeks, but because he's not 230k, he is 350. His cash gen doesn't go as fast, and he gets to the same spot they are 1 week later because they're younger guys like your Blamiers. If he can score like like 70s or something, that moves me up quicker and all that sort of stuff. So Dersma's out of my side just for that kind of reason. But Lindsay 100% locked, and Dev Rob also locked, and I'm really happy with that.
Yeah. And Duff Tyler there with a 35 was disappointing, and he had a goal in that as well. But I mean that's just what you're going to get from a key forward, I guess. I mean,
exactly.
If you're going to want to have that at R3, that's just what it is. But I mean, at least he's playing. But I mean, he's almost priced at that, isn't he? He's that's priced at 32 or something.
338. So you're not really getting anything. Yeah. But that's what you get for a forward at West Coast.
Price rise. Yeah. Well, let's go over to the Port, who racked, beating him by 70 points. Butters 152, lock. Rosie 149, lock. I mean, we've had them in for all the season.
Literally the entire game, yeah.
Other names there. So, Vicentini, 75 was good. And he had 34 ruck contests with Whitlock taking 4 and Ram taking 1. So, he was like clear number 1 ruckman. Had probably, what is it? That'd be like 85% ruck contest or something.
That's not even contest. That's just hit-outs. Like, the Whitlock took a winners in the forward and that Ram took that one in the back line. So, he literally was the number 1 ruck. Yeah.
Yeah, 70% ruck contest to Whitlock's 13%, Ollie Lord's 16%, and Ram's 1%. So Ollie Lord not got a hit out.
No, Ollie Lord did it in the forward line, and Whitlock chopped out for him in the middle when Vicentini went to the bench. So that's what I can see it looking like if we don't play Sweetie as well. I can see Whitlock being that number 2 ruck and Ollie Lord taking it up in the forward line. Just because he's good with that sort of thing. But someone you skipped over, and you probably didn't even think of it twice about it, but someone who's jumped back in my side because he's just ticked every single box that I thought he was going to tick is Todd Marshall. Scored an 82. He took 10 marks, took 10 marks, 18 disposals, 15 kicks. And I just said this. I just said from the get-go, Marshall or Port Adelaide defenders in that kind of position are just going to average like your 70 to like between 60 and 90. Just ticking the cash gen through, especially for someone priced so low. I think with Port Adelaide such a good run coming up, yes, they played against West Coast, but they also play against West Coast in this run. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an exact repeat of this against not only West Coast, but against Essendon and against North and against those other teams. And if you watch the game, I don't know if you did, Marshall's got a lot to learn as a defender, but his kicks are elite. The numbers won't back it up very well because efficiency-wise, he turned over a few because he was trying to take off those long kicks inside the corridor. And, mate, he hit, like kicks that most blokes would only hit, 30% of the time. He hit 70% of the time, but he took them every time. So other people's efficiency would be higher because they go for the easier kicks, if you're with me. But Marshall's efficiency was lower because he was trying to take off those tough kicks, which he can do and which he did pretty well and open up the ground for us. So they'll want the ball in his hand coming off of that half back line. Like as I said in our Port preview, Rosie takes the kick in, kicks it to Marshall then would beeline straight for the middle of the corridor when no one's looking, and Marshall hits him again. Like, Marshall's going to be getting some pick sixes here and there. Pick six, that's an NFL term. He's going to be getting some plus sixes there here and there, as I should be saying. I just think if you're struggling for someone to put in your forward line, like if you've got a James Leake or even maybe a Lockie Doverston, I would recommend just seeing if you can scrounge your way up the cash just to get someone who is a player who can take marks well, can take intercept marks well, can kick the ball well, and has played like 6 years in the comp. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Up to you, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, he looked really comfortable back there, which was a good sign. Yeah, I think you can do it. I agree.
Yeah.
Other names for Port. There's a couple of... So Joe Berry got a little bit of love with the 59. He's like, what, through 400k-ish? I think it's probably just a no. I don't know if he's going to do too much. Maybe he was rookie price, maybe. And then they had a couple of guys who I'm not sure if they're rookie price, like, like a Ram or a Lorenz, or even if you go all the way up to like a Whitlock. I don't know what's Whitlock at, because he was okay, and if he is in the side playing second ruck, a 64 wasn't bad. If he is rookie priced, if I search him up,
I think he's up. I think he's in the 300s.
Yeah, 368. So, it'd be great if he had ruck status and we could chuck him at R3 instead of Duff Tyler. That'd be a good pick. But I mean, yeah, we're probably not picking any of these rookies. But yeah, I mean that's probably it for Board, I think.
Yeah, and I think for time's sake, for looking forward, should we just say one thing each that we're looking forward about each of these opening round games?
Each of the games, yep. So Sydney v Carlton. I've Goulden. I'm just looking for Goulden. Is he fit? Does he look good? I mean, the line is like a ton, maybe, I guess. If he scores a ton, he's in. He's already in my side. So that's probably me for that game.
For me, I'm looking at Goulden versus Walsh. If Walsh out eye tests Goulden for me, I'll pick a Walsh straight away and use that cash somewhere else. Currently got neither, I think. But so they both could force my hand.
Yeah. Gold Coast v Geelong. I'll go with Tanner Bruin. I'll go with seeing if he still has the same role and can score against a really good side. Not saying that Carlton, who he did score against, are not, possibly the best team in the comp at the moment. But, I mean, I want to see what the role is. Is he going to play more midfield time? Is he going to play fully off half-back? Can he do that, ton or around that every week? And, then he could be in my side.
Yeah, I want Zeke Yulin to do something. I really do. I want him to put a score out there and say, yeah, you all had me in your team for a reason, and this is why. And we all put him back in our team. I want to see that.
Yeah, start his cash gen, definitely. Giants Hawthorn. I'm going to take the obvious one. I'm going to take Connor McDonald. I just want to see an 80, 85. I want to see the role. I want to see more than 30% CBAs. And I just want to see him playing well. Like, I just want to see him be of some importance to the team and them to go, we want to keep you in there for 40% all year. We don't want to move you back forward.
Yeah. I want to see Clary do exactly the same thing. I want Clary to come out with a bang, score a 95 to 105. I want him to do that so I can put him in my side and lock him away so I can switch to Goulden later on like I was thinking about.
Yeah. Brisbane versus the Bulldogs. Probably Buderick is like the only one that I'm watching here. And if he can, I mean, his line's probably a bit higher because I'm not super duper keen on him. But if he scores an 85 or even a 90, I think he kind of forces my hand and I have to pick him. So I'll be watching him.
Yeah. I'm watching Tim English not to drop off. If he has a good score, he's in a lot of people's sides, not just mine. He's in a lot of people's sides. I want to see that.
Yeah. And Saints versus Collingwood, I guess I'm probably watching Philippou. Probably just saying, again, same as McDonald. Is he going to be chucked forward? Is he actually going to get the midfield role in a real game? He's going to be up against not a fantastic midfield in Collingwood, but some good players. Can he do it? Not against Essendon. And can he get more kicks? More kicks and marks. Stop handballing the ball. Yeah,
and I'm the same. I'm still pretty hot on Winhager. I want to see a good game from him. If he has a good game, then as a point of difference player, I don't mind it. He scored 140 with like 13 tackles or whatever. He's a known player. You know he can do it. I want to see him do it in premiership point rounds, so I can pick him in my side.
He can pop some ceiling scores as well. He did it last year, and I think he had a good scratch match as well. So yeah, definitely could be.
Yeah. Well, that one does it. I think what we're going to do from now, that's that one. We'll put that one up, and we also might do a pre opening round team reveal, or we're going to save that for after.
Yeah. No, we'll let's do one before opening round.
Yeah.
And then we'll do another one after, and we'll see how much they change. So
Sounds good.
maybe a little bit before the bounce. Check your phones about 30 minutes before the bounce tomorrow night, or probably tonight as I'm uploading this on Thursday. And we'll be doing a team reveal, and you'll be able to see who we've picked, copy our sides, and steal the Tundra from us.
Hell yeah. And with any luck, when you do that, you're on the mark.
And not off the mark, and we'll see you back after opening round. Hope you enjoy the footy.
See you later.
See ya.